Assalamualaikum and very good morning to our respected lecturer Sir Faiz Ismail and our dear friends. We are from Group 6 and we're presenting about case study welfare reform. This is the list of our group members which are Faris Hafizi, Nur Fitrisha, Muhammad Faizwan, Muhammad Izzat and lastly Iman Muhammad. Now, let's start with the first presenter.
In 1996, the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act, or PRORA, introduced significant changes to U.S. welfare policy. It implemented work requirements, time limits on benefits, and restrictions for groups like immigrants and teenage parents. The law aimed to reduce welfare spending and encourage self-sufficiency. Supporters of PRORA praised it for promoting independence and reducing reliance on government aid. However, critics argued it harmed vulnerable groups, especially single mothers and children, by failing to address systematic barriers like low wages and inadequate childcare. The law represented a major shift in welfare policy, prioritizing individual responsibility over government support. Its legacy sparked ongoing debates about poverty alleviations and the government's roles, discussions that continue to shape welfare policies today.
The first question under question 1 is who endorses it as an absolute unit fundamental and moral individualistic.
The Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act, or PRORA, was supported by Republican, centrist Democrats, and leaders like Newt Gingrich and President Bill Clinton, who believe in an individualistic moral framework. This framework asserts that individuals, rather than society or the government, should be responsible for their own financial independence and economic success. Proponents criticize the existing welfare system for fostering dependency and undermining values like hard work, self-sufficiency, and personal responsibility. They argued that long-term welfare without work requirements led to a cycle of dependency. The PRORA sought to correct this by introducing provisions such as work requirement and time limits on benefits, which were designed to encourage recipients to find work, earn their own income, and become self-reliant. This approach reflected key American values of individualism and minimal government interference, where success is based on personal effort rather than government assistance.
The second and third question under question 1 are who advocates for the community-oriented basic moral unit and what do you think about each viewpoint and which one of them do you think is the most compelling in your opinion?
Opponents of PRORA, including Peter Edelman and Senator Edward Kennedy, supported a community-oriented moral framework. This viewpoint believes society has a social obligation to support disadvantaged groups like single mothers, poor children, and immigrants. They criticize PRORA for transferring the responsibility of fighting poverty from the state to individuals, neglecting the structural factors that influence financial stability, such as wage differences and lack of education or childcare. They argue that welfare should focus on equal resource distribution and address systemic causes of poverty, not just individual behaviors. I find the community-oriented approach the most compelling because it acknowledges the structural issues that perpetuate poverty, such as low wages and lack of access to education or childcare. While personal responsibility is important, it must be considered within the larger context of societal inequalities. PRORA reforms, which reduce welfare caseloads, ultimately push many people into low-wage, insecure jobs, deepening chronic poverty. A community-based approach, which includes subsidized support for childcare, housing, education, and job training, can help reduce inequality and improve the economy. Ultimately, justice combined with responsibility and care provides a more ethical and just solution to poverty.
I think governments or societies have an obligation to care for disadvantaged or lower income families because it is the duty of government and society. People are better able to live with dignity and take advantage of growth chances when they have access to basic resources. Negative consequences like crime, ill health, and illiteracy arise when this demand is not satisfied. The 254.3 million that Johor has set aside this year to combat extreme poverty is a fantastic illustration of proactive government assistance. These kinds of programs benefit not just people but also the community and economy at large. The second point is welfare programs offer more than just short-term financial assistance. They are sustained investment in people's potential that allow them to make contribution to society and the economy. Assistance programs give people the help they need to escape poverty, which is frequently caused by structural injustice. Programs such as Bantuan Malaysia, for example, guarantee that children from low-income households can pursue higher education, opening the door to achievement and progress in society. The third point is helping disadvantaged family is both of a moral duty and a smart investment. When we support those in need, we reduce social and economic costs while creating a more stable and cohesive society. It is not just about charity. It is about ensuring that everyone can contribute meaningfully, which ultimately benefits the entire community. In fact, supporting disadvantaged families is essential for creating a thriving society. By addressing poverty and inequality, we not only uphold moral values but also strengthen the foundation of our economy and governments and societies must work together to ensure equal opportunities for all, building a future where everyone can succeed.
Hi everyone, today I will discussing two key topics. Will Malaysia provide equal opportunities for success and the shared responsibility of individual and the government in achieving success? In my opinion, I agree that Malaysia provide equal opportunity for success. Allow me explain why. Firstly, I think the education system in Malaysia. The government has made significant investment to ensure all Malaysians has access to quality education. Government primary and secondary school are free. This will be removing financial barriers for many families. Despite being free, these schools maintain a high standard of education, as highlighted in a Malaysia Education Blueprint. Furthermore, scholarships like those offered by Yayasan Bursa Malaysia and Bank Negara Malaysia provide financial support for higher education in helping students pursue diplomas and degrees. Secondly, I think it's international collaboration and student exchange program. Programs like DUTM Student Exchange Program and the Youth Exchange and Society Program allow Malaysian students to experience diverse culture and educational system. These initiatives not only enhance student adaptability and cross-cultural communication skill, but also improve Malaysia education and research quality. Importantly, they open doors networking and future job opportunities in preparing students to thrive in a globalized economy. Now, let's discuss the second question. The question is success the sole responsibility of individuals, or does the government also play a role? I believe that success is a shared responsibility. Now, I will explain why success is a shared responsibility. Firstly, it's an individual responsibility. For me, success starts with a personal effort, dedication, and the willingness of that person to grab the opportunities to come. The second one is the government role. The first point that I think relevant to the government role is in enhancing education. The government must ensure that the education system is aligned with industry needs, especially in the digital age. Providing financial aid for postgraduate students, such as master and PhD program, can also help individuals secure better job opportunities. The second one is improving skill for global competitiveness. Digital skill, IT, and augmented reality are highly valued in today's job market. Introducing this skill into school curriculum can prepare Malaysia to compete internationally. Next, they can supporting small entrepreneurs program like Teko National help Malaysia's small business owners, especially from the B40 group, by offering interest-free loan. For example, the scheme Teman Tekong that support Bumiputra and Indian communities in starting their business. Other than that, government can creating fair policy. The government must ensure equal access to opportunity for all segments of society, fostering inclusivity and fairness. In conclusion, for both individuals and the government play essential role in success. While individuals must work hard and take initiative, the government must continue improving education, providing economic support, and ensuring fairness. Together, we can build a society where every Malaysian has a fair chance to achieve their dream.
Next, I will briefly discuss for the question number 4. The Welfare Reform Act of 1996, also known as PAWARA, which reshaped how we think about the welfare and poverty in America. This reform aimed to reduce welfare dependency by focusing on individual responsibility and work requirement. However, it has been a topic of significant debate. The main idea behind the law was to encourage people to work and become self-reliant, but critics argue it failed to address the needs of vulnerable groups such as single parents family and children, that pushing them closer to the poverty. Critics also feel that the government's role as a safety net was diminished. Instead of that, providing enough support, the law placed too much responsibility on people who often lack the resources to stabilize themselves. Another challenge was that economic problems like the 2008 recession and low wages made it even harder for the families to become financially secure that despite the law's goal. This law highlights a fundamental question. What's the right balance between personal responsibility and government support in fighting poverty? The debate continues, showing that welfare reform remains a critical topic for policymakers and society.
Today, I will be discussing how the concept of the fundamental moral unit influenced ideological divides during the welfare reform debates, particularly focusing on the 1996 Welfare Reform Act signed by President Bill Clinton. At the core of the act was the principle of personal responsibility, aligning with conservative ideals of self-sufficiency. Proponents believe that government assistance should not foster dependency but instead encourage economic independence. By capping welfare benefit and requiring recipients to work within 2 years, the act sought to instill values like initiative and hard work. This approach reflects an individualistic moral perspective where success and failure are attributed to personal effort. Welfare in this view serves as a temporary safety net rather than a long-term solution to poverty. On the other hand, critics, including many Democrats and figures like Peter Endelman from Clinton's administration, argued from a communitarian model standpoint. They view poverty not just as an individual issue but as a social challenge requiring collective intervention. From this perspective, the strict limits imposed by the Act risk deepening poverty, especially for vulnerable groups like parents, family. Critics believe that welfare should be a stable support system to help people navigate structural injustice and chronic adversity. These contrasting perspectives reveal a deeper ideological divide about the role of government. Conservatives emphasize personal accountability and limited intervention, while liberals advocate for a shared responsibility to address society inequities. Understanding this moral framework helps us see why welfare reform remains a contentious topic and highlight the broader debate about poverty and governments. In conclusion, the 1996 Welfare Reform Act emphasized self-reliance by reducing welfare dependency, but it also left vulnerable groups exposed to systemic challenges like low wages and insufficient support. While it succeeded in promoting independence, it highlighted the need for addressing deeper structural issues, a balanced approach combining personal responsibility with robust government and community support is essential to address poverty effectively and create a more equitable society. By working together, we can build a system that ensures dignity and opportunity for all. Thank you.